Boss Snikrot emerges from the shadows, a hunter of the highest degree. The Genestealer Gauntlet awaits him, wave after wave of claws and death, but this is the challenge that Orc wants most. And he has the Genestealers in his sights. He is silent and predatory and has every muscle coiled and ready to strike. Boss Snikrot's blades glint under the lights, and we look forward to another episode of the Genestealer Gauntlet. Each competitor will face endless waves of Genestealers with only their raw stats and abilities as well as their faction rule. No enhancements, no stratagems, and no detachment abilities. Today's challenger is Boss Snikrot, equipped with a slugger and Mork's teeth. In all honesty, all of his abilities are totally useless in this type of battle apart from his War faction ability, obviously. So Boss Snikrot is pretty much relying on brute melee strength in the gauntlet today. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and thank you for your continued support. Also check out the Patreon and Discord in the video description. Let's begin. The Genestealers surge into the gauntlet, but as they enter they realise there is no one in the room with them. That is until a green hue shines through the smoke, growling at the Genestealers. And through that smoke comes light in the form of Daka. One clean hit on a Genestealer, but the creature twists aside unharmed. But it wasn't meant to kill. It was a scare tactic before the real fight, which comes in a blur of motion as he launches into the brood with confidence. 6 hits from Boss Snikrot, 5 brutal wounds inflicted, and no saves made. 5 Genestealers dropped by Boss Snikrot as he slinks his way back into the shadows, ready for the next round. Snikrot fires another burst from the shadows at the emerging Genestealers. However, the bullet goes wayward this time. There's too many limbs and too much motion, and Orcs are not the best shot. But the follow-up attack shows exactly what Orcs are good at. 6 hits from Boss Snikrot, 6 wounds inflicted, and only 1 save made. 5 Genestealers are carved apart, and the room echoes with dying screeches. The Orc is showing his mettle here today. Boss Snikrot has made it 8 rounds deep, but he's lost 3 wounds so far. Despite this, he gears up and unleashes another killing storm, charging into the Genestealers. 6 hits from Boss Snikrot, 4 wounds inflicted, and no saves made, but that means 1 Genestealer is still alive, and the 1 remaining Genestealer has some fight left in it and attacks with slicing blades. 4 hits from the Genestealer, 2 wounds inflicted, and Boss Snikrot cannot save either of them. Snikrot roars loudly as the claws tear deep, and he drops down to 1 wound remaining. But he doesn't have time to recover as the Genestealer goes again with more claws. 4 more hits from the Genestealer, but none of the wounds go through. Boss Snikrot flexes his muscles and brushes off those attacks with ease, ready to claim another head. A final burst of fury for this round annihilates the last Genestealer, and Boss Snikrot finishes the round covered in his and Genestealer blood. Before the Genestealers approach, Boss Snikrot bellows 1 word and 1 word only: war! Empowered, he vaults into the Genestealer mob and demolishes them with orcish ferocity. All 5 Genestealers dead within seconds. A brutal round for the Genestealers as they fall apart quickly. Boss Snikrot observes his prey as more and more approach. 10 Genestealers this time. Boss Snikrot will have to be cunning. He assaults the Genestealers from behind, trying his best to gain an advantage. 5 hits from Boss Snikrot. Only 2 wounds inflicted, but no saves are made. Only 2 Genestealers are dead, which is pretty bad news for Boss Snikrot here, as the Genestealers attacks flying on this 1 wound orc. 28 hits turn into 10 wounds, and Boss Snikrot can only make 3 of these saves. The swarm engulfs Boss Snikrot, but even in death, his expression is one of savage satisfaction. He carved a path of destruction through the gauntlet and will go down as a legendary hunter, but his time in this gauntlet is over. Boss Snikrot has killed 47 Genestealers, a good showing from the deadly hunter orc. And where does that place him on the leaderboard? About mid-table and way below his forest hunter competitor Slimarbo, which he certainly won't be happy about. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep suggesting those models. Please also check out the Discord and the Patreon in the video description. And we'll see you next time.